Welcome to the Strong, Single and Human podcast, a real look at single parenting, how to navigate the ups and downs of life with kids on your own while keeping sane. We cover all manner of subjects from domestic violence, dealing with childhood trauma, through to fussy eaters and how to help your kids become resilient. I'm your host, Claire Martin. Welcome. This week's guest I have interviewed before and is the grandfather of baby sign language, one of the world's leading experts in the baby sign language revolution. In his highly acclaimed book, Toddler Talk in 1994 and Sign with Your Baby in 1999, Dr. Garcia explores the miracles of how young babies are able to communicate with their parents using sign, sometimes before 6 months of age. And I have to say, I use this with my son, and it definitely is a mind-opening experience. He's worked with more than 5,000 babies and their families through community, hospital and national education programs, and helped parents and caregivers find it easy to learn and use more signs than they thought possible while still having fun. He has come back to tell us about a new program for parents called Baby Sign Language in 14 Days, and another book that he's written as well in that time frame. This is Strong, Single and Human. Oh, wow. Look at you.
Got my didgeridoo out for you today.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm not allowed to play one of those.
Yeah, well, you're not.
Women aren't allowed to play them.
Well, I'm an indigenous
Only men.
I'm an indigenous man from Americas, and a guy sold one to me from the eucalyptus roots, and he said, "Yeah, here," and he showed me how to play it. And it's funny, this one is about $265. And
wow.
This one is $2.65 that I made from a piece of plumbing pipe, you know?
Oh. Wow. See, and you do it so well.
Well, it's the same. It has an even tone because it's got an even size, but there's more of a spiritual and a better sound coming from the eucalyptus, of course, you know? So anyway,
and you've got it all decorated as well, and all the sort of various different. Yeah. No, exactly.
So
exactly.
It was fair trade, you know. So it wasn't like a commercial thing. So anyway, hello, how you doing, Claire?
Hello. How are you?
Oh,
it's great to have you back.
Busy. Yes, it's nice being here again.
I know. Wow, what have you been up to?
Well, the finger spelling thing with the young kids. In fact. What happened was that we had a pandemic here, of course, just like you did, of course, too.
Yeah.
And in our country, of course, there was a little bit of extra funding that came down the pipeline from the different governmental agencies. And some of it was to help, people who are stuck at home, stay-at-home schools are closed. So what happened was that I said, well, wouldn't it be great now that I just came out with this brand new concept of using finger spelling to help young children learn to read for the first time in a game-like activity, why not give every early learning program at every tribe in the nation one of the books? So I wrote a grant for that, and they allowed me the money to print them up, and then the Northwest Indian College, where I was working at the time, agreed to pay for the postage. So we sent one to every single tribe in the country, all 579 tribes. So all the early learning programs got one. So rather than the top class getting the best stuff and having trickled down, we got it out to those who could use it the most, of course, and see what happens from there. So anyway, it was a fun project, and and we're seeing the kindergarten teachers are saying, at recess the kids go outside and they sit across from each other and they fingerspell words back and forth, and just for fun. And when they're done with kindergarten, a lot of them have competency in reading and spelling first and second grade competency words, and they never had to study anything. It was always just in game-like activities. Plus, you add the muscle memory to the cognitive process, and you get those complex things like OUGH and TION, SION, all those kind of unusual Latin, Greek, French sort of influences in all of our languages together, and it helps children distinguish between one and the other when you have that muscle memory.
So tell us more about this book then. So what is it actually? So it's finger spelling is what
yes,
it is.
It's just using, but it's again, just.
Well, how did you come up with the concept?
Well, it's just like the baby sign language. It's not so much the concept as much as how you deliver it to the children. There's no word spelled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. I don't know why we teach kids that in the first place, okay? Now, what I would recommend is, like in our book, it shows 1, 2, 3, and 4 letter words and builds it up to 5 letter words. And by the time you've done all the 5 letter words, you've done all the letters of the alphabet at least 3 times, but you've done them in the form that you see them in English, in the way you read and spell and see things. So when you finally, and then the challenges in this book is to go through the 5 days of the week and spell the target words on each day until you get to Friday. And by Friday, you've also done all the letters of the alphabet. So, and not only that, but you've learned to spell all these words. And all these words are competency words that are designed to help people understand the English language better. So again, it's not just the idea of it, it's how it's presented, the way it's, and there's a little area in the back of the book that helps teachers and parents to guide children through some of the aspects of it. It's on the website. You can take a look at it and see it, of course.
Okay. All right. Okay. No worries. And so, is it like a picture book that you work through with kids, or so you work through each day as a parent? You've got helping notes in the back of it. And then, each day or whenever your kids amenable to it.
Well, actually, what parents are saying is that they give it to their kids in the back of the seat of the car when they're going somewhere, and the kids just get enthralled going through the book as they're traveling, because they can sit quietly and do finger spelling. And in the back are all these practice exercises that start, like I said, with 1, 2, and 3 letter words. But the words that are chosen are designed specifically to help children get through some of those more complex ideas that we have in our complex language that we pulled together called English. But by the time they're done, they know that stuff and they never had to learn anything. It was just a game, So, anyway,
which is cool.
Yeah, it's great.
And like, what age range is the book geared towards?
Well, it depends on when a child starts having an interest in dexterity to be able to make the shapes of the letters. Usually 4, 5, 6. Also the cognitive process of being able to understand putting letters together. They'll be able to put in fact, what I tell them is that, honey, how would you like to make with your fingers what your mouth says? And they get all excited about that, and then we start with short, like I said, 1 and 2 letter words that we say every day, and we show how to spell those. And then we just branch out from there. And the book is designed just for that. So that there's a whole section in there that starts with these little ones, and they build up to the point where by the time the kids are done going through the practice exercises with the parents, they've got competency in the entire alphabet quite well. Then the challenge is to go through the 5 days of the week as these characters that I have based on astronomical characters like quasar and nova and all of these names of all these sort of based on we have a guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, here in this country that he's an astronomer, and So it's really fun.
That sounds awesome.
Check it out on the website. It's really a lot of fun.
And have you got any videos that sort of linked to teaching as well to sort of demonstrate? Like,
we We haven't done videos on it yet. We have the baby sign language, of course. That's we have that whole program on video on your device, on your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever. But we're it's a board book that you want to have physically with the child right there. You don't want the screen time. You want the interaction.
Yeah.
You want to have that physical tactile experience. It's really it's important that we both have visceral as well as cranial sort of exposures. You want to touch things and see things and move through at your own pace back and forth and jump around without having to use a mouse or
a screen or
it's
sit
just
and passively watch. It's something you need to physically,
especially at this age, and the characters are so great. Well, you'll see them online when you check them out on the website.
Yeah. No, that's cool. And can people just get the book from your online website, or is it anywhere else?
Well, no. What I'm thinking about is maybe I should partner with someone in Australia who could, because the shipping is so terrible. What we should do is print up a bunch of them right there in Australia, and then just distribute them among your own people without having to have it absorbent. And maybe I'll ask around. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't ask me because I haven't got a clue.
I've got a friend.
But there must be publishers or distributors over here that would be able to do something like that.
Yes, because we could send them the electronic files to print them up there, and the specifications, the board book, the color, all that stuff. Yeah. We'll work on that because right now shipping is pretty absorbent. I mean, you can't afford to ship. The book is only like $16 and is going to end up costing you 64 to ship it, or something.
Yeah, because it's a board book, so it's quite heavy. Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't care if it's featherweight. Same cost. It's amazing. We've had some.
Oh, wow.
That's why our baby sign stuff is electronic. There's no shipping. You push the button, it downloads on your device. There it is. It's done. Whereas, the physical products have to be shipped or reprinted right there in country. And we're working on that. Our marketing representative is an international marketer, so she'll
but you need the physical book. You would need the physical book. You couldn't actually then send out a virtual book to people.
I think so.
I haven't seen the book, admittedly,
may make a
but
program out of it too. Yeah,
loving your work. You always come out with these things.
Program out of it too. Excuse me.
You always come out with these things, so it's great. I said, I'm loving your work.
Oh, well,
You always find somewhere around it. Yeah, look, I'm sure we'll have distributors here, but if somebody wanted to look at the book and pay $1 million to get it delivered, is it all on your website?
Oh, yeah, it's all there under my. In fact, we have whole classroom programs that you can buy for your school that gives a banner that goes across the wall of all the characters on it, and they all have huge hands, and they're making all the different, letters and all the little. It's a lot of fun. It's such a great. Like I said, the kids. Some of the testimonials that you'll read on the website, they're true. We don't make this stuff up. Teachers are just saying, "Oh yeah, when we have free time, everybody wants to do the finger spelling stuff," and when they're done, they go into these classrooms and they're reading and spelling and writing, correctly. It's just like, and they never had to study anything.
Well, and also think about it, right? It's like a secret child language because us parents, well, I mean, like us, if they were taught it at daycare or whatever, us parents don't know what they're doing. Because we haven't gone through the book. I mean, it's different if you're a parent, you've gone through the book with them. But so it's like a secret kid like language.
There you go.
So it's great. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's as much fun as the baby sign stuff is, that.
Wow, exactly. And so your website, just before we move on to that, which is a great segue, is www.drjosephgarcia.com.
Yeah, and also you can also type in babysign.net too.
Oh, okay.
I bought a bunch of those domain names just because my name, who cares? It's what people are looking for, baby sign. So if you type in babysign.net, then you'll come to our website, or drjosephgarcia.com will take you there too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, no, that's okay. Either baby language, baby sign language.
Well, if you type in baby sign language, it'll take you to
it'll bring you
places.
to a whole.
Yeah. Now, if you type in baby sign language in 14 days, then it takes you to my site too.
There you go.
I've got a special 14-day program that knocks your socks off. It's amazing. It's great.
Well, I was going to say, tell me about this 14-day program, because I taught my son baby sign language, which was awesome. It was one of the best tools I could have ever taught him, because, I was able to, before he could even talk, I was able to communicate with him, which was great. So it was a other connection with my son through sign language before language as such. But I learned through a book, right, which was depicting and drawing that, I had to read it.
That's
which when you're a new mum is, a little bit, so, I mean, there's how many, I'm going to ask you this question. How many different signs can you do to a baby? Because if I say how many I think, I'll get it wrong.
Okay. Here's the answer.
There's loads,
I'll be as concise as possible. How many words do you say to a baby? And that's how many signs you could make. Okay. I'm just saying that a baby is a blank slate looking to absorb and then express language. So the more you give them, the more they can express. Now, the more that's relevant or important to them, the more they're going to want to embark on those communicative elements, like the things that they want or need or fear or whatever. So that's why my 14-day program answers two of the things you were just talking about. First, you're busy as a new mom, so you don't have a lot of time. It's right on your device. Plus, it's not about the baby. The baby is a blank slate. You say, how many can they learn? How many can you show them? That's the question. Okay, now, and this is the thing, the parents don't, they do milk eating more and they're happy. Can you imagine being caged up with 3 things to say in your entire life? Talk about.
I know, but it made me happy.
Yeah, I know, but.
I think I did about 8, but so,
okay.
8, but right. You're right. Now, 8 is not all the words that I would say to my child.
Change your perspective. You're your child now, and you know 600 things, and you can talk about 8 of them. Okay. Now so this is my whole 14-day program is not based on the baby's capacity. That's endless. It's the parent capacity. Okay. So what it is I build in each day, we'll take one event that you're going to do every day, and I give you the signs for that event. And you do those same signs each day that you do that event. And what does that do? That teaches the parent the sign. Plus, the parent is not supposed to teach signs to the baby. The parent's supposed to model the signs, because you want your child to absorb the signs using their own internal resources. That's what gives them that confidence, that capacity to see that their navigative skills affects their environment. And that's what you want. You want that attitude to grow in during that cultural imprinting time that your infant is getting those first 3 years when they're trying to navigate through life and see how the world works. Well, once they have language and that communication, especially that early, they see that by using their internal resources, they can affect their environment. And that's critical. So each day, a new event. And each day you just learn those signs. The next day, and it's right on your device. You push that button. There I come on, and I show you the signs for the day before that if necessary, and that day. And then you just keep doing that. And if you want to stop for a day, that's fine. But it's designed that within 14 events, you're going to have 80 signs to communicate with your child that the parent's going to be able to use, that will offer to the child. And then once you have that going, I will guarantee you, and I've heard this countless times, once you go through this program, you're going to have such an incredible amount of communication, not only two-way communication, but also what I call caregiver communication, things that allow your child to understand what's coming next, avert tantrums, frustration, things about cautionary things, those type of signs that the baby won't ever make, but the baby use as guidance to guide their lives. And those are also built into the course. So again, this is not, a lot of people saw my first book on baby sign language long ago and said, oh, that's cute. And they went ahead and they had some deep pockets and they created some baby sign language stuff that they thought was cute. But it's not based on the needs of a child, the research on how a cognitive process works in a child, how you deliver the program is as important as, if not as the important thing about the baby sign language experience. And all that's wrapped into that 14-day program. My 30 years of being at the center of this whole thing is kind of wrapped up into this program. And so I think that it's the best thing out there, just because it's based on reality. It's based on what I've learned about adult learning, baby and infant cognitive development, language acquisition, all those things combined, delivery method, how to make it a stress-free, so there's no anticipation put on a child. You don't teach again, you model.
Well, they're not performing.
Exactly right. And you never make a child perform.
Yeah.
Ever make a child perform.
No.
Do the sign for milk, honey. Oh, just about to drive me nuts,
Yeah. No. But you're right. It's not about performing. And the connection that it enabled me to have with my son was amazing. Because you're communicating. Like when people would think that you might not be able to communicate, because they can't talk, but you are communicating. It's not as though their brain's not working. They're not just sitting there as a child, 6 months old, not having thoughts, feelings, and they may not understand all their thoughts and feelings, but it's not, they just can't get them out of their body because they can't say, I'm angry, I'm hungry, I'm whatever, but they can with your baby sign language.
Yeah, especially the second year of life, when they start to go,
yes.
And that happens for quite a few months, a day.
And that's frustrating long for them.
So until they start to articulate clearly, and that could be anywhere from 18 to 26 months before they're really starting to clearly say everything that they need to say. However, with signs, that clarification can be made, and that, especially children with special needs, of course, and speech delays, it reduces that frustration and takes the pressure off, so they're not feeling like there's something wrong with them. Instead, there's an alternative method they can use to communicate as their capacity and what we call the maturation process of their muscular process for voice command maturates to the point where they can articulate the various global languages or accents, that we have in our different languages. So anyway, but that's it's remarkable, it's wonderful, and I'm glad to be part of this whole thing. And like you said, my whole idea is I fill voids. I saw something that could be. It's a combination of filling a void that was needed and having that cross-cultural experience. When you cross Aboriginal and mainstream European, or deaf and hearing, or all these different cross-cultural events, create these hybrid of ideas, and baby sign comes from the deaf and the hearing coming together. Same with finger spelling words. Same, that. And me working in the indigenous community has really fostered a bunch of ideas on how to present my materials to both the underrepresented communities as well as the mainstream world. So there's, like I said, you learn something. I'm 73 and I'm still learning like a kid.
Wow. I was going to say, you're amazing for 73. Amazing. Oh. And look, all of this came out of your work and research. Wasn't it your work and research with gorillas and monkeys to start with? You did a lot of that, and then then you went on to go into the deaf communities, didn't you?
Well, actually, I was in the deaf community. I was in the military in 1970, and before I was going overseas, I met some deaf people who took me in, and I couldn't communicate with them. And I said, if I ever survive the military, I would learn sign. And I did. I survived the military, learned some sign, and I had a dog sled team up in Alaska, and I used signs with them. And I did meet Jane Goodall, and I got a chance to hang with a bunch and have conversations with chimpanzees. I was teaching sign language at the university where the chimps were housed. As a result, students took classes from me in American Sign Language in order to work in the chimp lab to study and document the signing chimps and that kind of thing. But I was one of the only. In fact, if you look at my website, you'll see pictures of me with the chimps communicating with them and grooming them and all that, because I was one of the few people allowed to go into the chimp facilities with the chimps and mess with them because I knew their language and I was a friend. We could talk about change your perspective of species hierarchy and oh man, you start talking to animals in real communication. It changes you a lot. It's amazing.
Well, you're like it's a bit like being Dr. Dolittle, isn't it? Because you are then communicating and talking with animals then, aren't you?
And this not just, B.F. Skinner, Pavlov, classical conditioning. These chimps are actually engaging you in what's happening right then, right now, just like you would with a child. Like, what do you want to do? And they'll do play chase or play camera or whatever they're going to want to play with, and you play that game. And then I say, finish, me eat now. And they go, oh, eat, yeah, me come eat, come with you, eat, and we just talk to each other, just like
conversation.
It's just and they can even curse at you when you
oh my God,
a little bit. One time I told them, I says, I'm going to go and get food. And they go, oh, they got excited. Food, 444, which means for who? For who? For me, not you. And we have a sign when we clean up their area. This is the sign for dirt in ASL, and it's also we use it for poop. The dirt that they drop.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so he signed poop, and he pointed at me. So I said, tease, food for you. And he got excited again. Good, kind of thing.
But this is where we sit here and we go, these animals don't actually understand anything. And they're like, oh my God, it's just that they don't communicate with us on the same level.
Yeah, ravens and pigs and dolphins.
Ravens?
And so many animals that are really higher up on the intelligence.
Yeah, pigs,
we just neglect and discount. But again, I'm not here to advocate for that. The point is that
I know we digress.
So that we don't know. The more we know, the more we don't know, kind of thing. So
yeah, no, I know. So with this new program that you've got, well, it's baby sign language, but baby sign language isn't new. But like, can people download it onto their phones, and if they go to the Apple Store or the Android,
just go online and you can download it directly from the website. It's already
okay. So it's not on the stores. Don't go on the stores. Go on the website.
Go on the website, download it right on your device, and you're done. You're finished. It's Shopify or whatever. I spent my entire life savings setting up the website and getting everything organized.
Gosh.
Because the first book, the guy kind of, never mind, it's a long story, but like all authors, he stepped on everything and destroyed everything. So I had to break everything off with him and starting all over again with brand new products. Yeah. But it's given me time and the pandemic to really, really create, I think, a real kick-ass program. I mean,
the website looks fantastic. The website looks absolutely awesome.
It's great. Yeah. It's fun. It's great. We put it all together this time. We have some great people. It's not me. It's the team. It's the women who work for me. And as I can say, every time, whenever you see a guy up there doing something, if he's successful, he's got about 2 or 3 women back there that are just doing what done.
We're just doing the do.
I must salute the matriarchal part of the world, boy, I tell you. Yeah.
Well, we stay quiet and we just beaver away in the background. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, I salute and applaud all of you.
No, so that's cool. So, so if anyone wants to get the app, the app, but the 14-day program, it's all on the website. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So baby awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just type in baby sign language in 14 days. It should come there. So if you forget my name, because my name is, those really odd, unusual ones, Dr. Joseph Garcia.
Really.
Well, it's funny.
It's easy. I love pronouncing your name because I can pronounce it. Like there's some names and some people I get on the podcast, I go, I apologize if I get this wrong.
I understand. Well, I'm Nigerian, Potawatomi, and Scottish all together with a Hispanic last name. So I'm just a real hodgepodge.
What a mix.
I tell you what. And
what a mix. That explains a lot.
And I was raised in a jazz and then deaf culture. So, I'm a jazz musician, but I also do sign and hang out with people who can't hear a doggone thing. So,
and some people may say you need to be deaf to listen to jazz. I'm not one of them, but but no, that's cool. That's cool. So look, just one final question for you, and it can't be any of your own ones, but like, what book would you recommend for my listeners and why?
Well, it depends on what age their children are. If they're talking about babies, of course, the 14-day program would be the best for them.
Of course, but
and if they have preschool children or children in kindergarten, then, of course, the fingerspelling book would be great. But again, I will spend some time after this podcast. I've got an international marketing rep that works with us, and I'm going to say, hey, let's reach out to see if we can find a printer in Australia and a representative that could carry our product there. Because again, the printing is you're welcome to buy, but it says on the website, international shipping charges vary, and be careful.
Yeah,
because one time someone wanted it and they said, fine, but they had to pay $64 in shipping. Wow. On top of the cost of the $24 book or something. So it was the shipping was 3 times the cost of the book. So again,
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I'd rather just wait. Someone may hear this, give me a call. Next thing you know, we're in business. We're
well, exactly. I mean, yeah, fingers crossed, everything's sorted. By the time this goes out, you've sorted out all the publishing, and it's out there in Australia. And I can say, it's out there, guys. I'll get it.
Send an email this evening. Yep.
God love you. God love you. Well, look, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's great to have you back. It's great to talk to you again. I love talking to you. Thank you for the didgeridoo at the start. That was awesome.
Well, I tell you what,
bit of home.
Maybe in a year, we'll check back in again, and you can kind of follow the progress to see what's going on,
I would love to. I think the last time I interviewed you was about a year ago.
Right, exactly. That's what I figured. It's like one of those things there. Once a year, you check in, and you never know what's coming up next. In fact, I just finished a complete comprehensive medical course in ASL, American Sign Language 2. It's a diagnostic course because I've got a medical background too. But so I wrote a complete video course in diagnostic communication. So it's out there. But it's mostly for doctors, paramedics, first responders, that type of thing.
To talk to deaf people.
Yeah, if they get on the scene, or if they're in a long-term care, they need to ask them if there's any pain today, how you feeling, where did the pain start, where does it go to, symptoms, any kind of diagnostic communication. We spent a couple of years with physicians from across the nation and deaf people and everything. It's a real good course. Like I said, I stay busy.
I was going to say, there's no sitting and watching Netflix with you. You were just up and like dog sled and like writing these courses, books, everything.
That's on the website too, the dog sleds. If you look under
I've seen, yeah.
If you look under news, you'll see all the progression of the puppies into adults and running in the bush of Alaska and all that. It was great.
You're crazy.
It was fun. It was fun. Well, you have bush in Australia, right?
Oh, we do, but we don't have any snow.
Outback,
I suppose it would be sand. It would be sand dog sleighing or whatever. Yeah, well, mud dog sleighing.
I used to have a 3-wheeled cart for this fall, and summer and spring.
Well, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So is it winter where you are? Are you're...
Yes, it is. In fact, tomorrow I'm going up to a place called Mount Baker. I'm taking a bunch of the indigenous students from the local Northwest Indian College up to the ski area at Mount Baker, and we're going to give them a day of skiing and snowboarding.
Wow.
Some of them for the first time ever. Others have been once or twice, so it'll be fun.
Oh, no, no sitting in and watching Netflix for you. You're out and about every day. Okay. It's all good. Good.
Papa said you can sit and watch other people live their lives or go live your own.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you might as well go live your own because you're a long time dead, aren't you, really? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, look, thank you again. And yeah, you go and enjoy your evening. Get ready and set up for tomorrow. Yeah,
well, it's going to be fun. It'll be snow time. The temperature's holding, so it's nice and cold. So it should be good.
Wow. We're about 28 today. So
yeah.
hence I've got a bit of a red face. I keep looking at my face going, maybe got a bit more sunburnt than I did down at the beach yesterday.
It's minus 2 or 4 here. So it's.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you can keep that.
Well, we if it gives above freezing, the snow gets soft, and you don't want that. You don't want wet, soft snow. You want good, cold, dry snow.
That's avalanche material, that is. Don't go there. All right, Joe. Look, thank you so much. Thanks, Dr. Joe. We will speak to you again soon.
Okay, see you in about a year or so, huh?
Yeah. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you would like to hear more, please hit subscribe wherever you like to hear podcasts. If you would like to support us further, share this episode with your friends and family. And finally, drop us a review on iTunes, as I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and ideas. It all helps me to understand and produce awesome content you want to hear just like this. If you want to check out our past episodes, write to us, appear on the podcast, or for links, resources, and show notes, go to our website, www.strongsingleandhuman.com. We are also on all the usual social media platforms, Insta, Facey, and Twitter. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Be kind to yourself, and remember, no one is perfect. We're all just putting one foot in front of the other and doing our best. I'm Claire Martin, and you've been listening to the Strong, Single and Human podcast.